So guys, today what I want to talk about is an experimental model for the multiverse known as the many worlds theory. Now chances are you have heard of this, but most people don't really have a huge grasp of what it is. So basically what it comes down to is the multiverse is like a book or a newspaper. It's a very large three-dimensional object, but within this three-dimensional object are many two-dimensional planes, or the pages. Now each one of these is different, but many of them will bear a lot of similarities. And our universe, or the multiverse, is kind of like a nine-dimensional object with many objects within that are three-dimensional. And I realize like this is not very good wording of it. But the many worlds theory suggests that there are an infinite number of alternate universes that are, some of which are extremely similar to ours, and others are so widely different that they're completely unrecognizable. And the way it works is, for anything that could possibly happen, there is a universe where it has. So that would actually mean that there is a universe out there where I am actually Batman. If there is a slight chance of it happening, there is a universe where it has happened. So there's a universe out there where Hitler won World War II. There's another one out there where Genghis Khan never took over much of the world. And further down the line the changes are, the more significant their impact is as you get further down in history. So if Hitler were to have won World War II, the universe that we live in today would be very much different. And there is a universe out there where it has happened. There are an infinite number of me and an infinite number of you, the viewer, many of which are doing the exact same thing at the exact same time. And you're all, in a way, occupying the same space, but you're in different spatial dimensions. So despite these universes being in the same place at the same time, and in many cases doing the exact same thing, they are incapable of interacting with each other. And the reason we don't notice is because we're only living out one of these potential timelines. So you may have heard of something called Schrodinger's cat. Now the idea is that you were to put a cat, and I'm going to make this as short as I possibly can. If you were to put a cat in a box, and there was a 50% chance that it would die and a 50% chance that it would live, and you put the lid on the box, in that time the cat could be considered both dead and alive, because you have not opened the box and an observer has not looked into it to figure out whether or not the cat is dead or alive. So in that time, the cat exists in both states. And as an observer opens the box, it forces the universes to split into two. One where the cat is alive, and another where the cat is dead. I don't know how the cat feels about it though. So guys, one thing about the many worlds theory, as we're talking about Schrodinger's cat, it doesn't just apply to stuff like that. So long as there is no observer of any particular area, that area, so for example, this car park here, if there is no one here looking at it, it exists in all possible states until an observer comes along and forces it to split off into the many different possibilities, and in turn into many different universes. So long as there is no constant observer, each area exists in a state where all of the universes come together. And it's mind-boggling stuff, because you think like, well, why does it matter if there's an observer there? We don't know yet. A lot of this stuff is still extremely theoretical. However, there is some proof. So about 4 years ago, an experiment was conducted in Berlin. I can't remember the name of the university that it was done at, but what they did, this particular scientist, and unfortunately, not only can I not remember exactly how to say his name, I can't fucking pronounce it. So have a laugh at me there, guys. But what he did, he set up a system where an atom would be forced through one of two channels. So it would travel down a pipe, and it was a very particular atom. It would be forced down a pipe, right? And it would then have to go either down pipe A or down pipe B. And whichever one it went through, would a little light would go off saying it has gone through this one. Alright? So, you know, it seems pretty straightforward. Now, he left the air, he turned on the machine, and it started pumping atoms through. And he left a camera in there. And what happened was, when, instead of one light going off, both of them would go off at the same time. You see, the atom wasn't going through one, it was going through both. Because in that time, it existed in both universes existed in the same place. And as there was no observer, the atom could be thought to have been, the atom was in two places at once. It's some really crazy stuff, guys, and we don't fully understand it yet. And if you think you do understand it, you don't. It's so incredible. Like, this stuff is so mind-bendingly strange to us, and yet it forms a part of everyday life, and we don't even realize. It's incredible how we interact with the universe on a quantum level, guys. Absolutely incredible. You see, there's an infinite number of me making this video right now, and an even more infinite number that have stuffed it up and had to reshoot it another day. There are universes out there where I died as a child. There's universes out there where Australia was colonised by the French. Any possibility that you can think of, there's a place and a time when it's happened. It's an incredible, incredible thought, and at the same time it's terrifying, because then you realise that there are some places out there, some universes out there where we've destroyed ourselves. Like, let's say the Cold War, let's say the Cuban Missile Crisis, that it was never resolved, and that the mutually assured destruction between the Soviets and the West was fulfilled. And you think, like, we're actually very lucky to be in the universe that we are. And sure, there's plenty of other ones out there that are probably in a much better state than ours. But we're here, and we're living out this one particular timeline out of an infinite number that we could possibly be living out. Alright guys, so, as usual, if you enjoy these videos, you enjoy my little sciencey topics that I do every now and then, feel free to chuck us a like. Every subscriber I get helps me out immensely. We've just passed 500 as of last week, and as of last week as well, we have been doing this for 20 weeks. So thank you everyone. Couldn't have done it without you. I really appreciate all the positive support and feedback that I've gotten from everyone as a community, especially from other moto vloggers. Otherwise, have a fantastic day everyone, and I will see you all later.